Hi developers, welcome back to Infinity Coders. Today I'm going to show you how to build a login system with Firebase Authentication and a username field. So this development is actually done using Firebase Studio, and let's see how to code without having to code. Let's see how to develop using just purely AI. So first let's look into how to access the Firebase Studio. So in this section, we're going to look how to access Firebase Studio. So without actually, so let's go to Google, open browser, type in Firebase Studio. So it will appear as your first topmost. Then once you appear, do click on the link, try Firebase Studio. So once you have prompt and open, you can actually look into it where you will have Firebase Studio, and this is a preview version. If you have not signed in, you have to use a Google to sign in. You can actually see there will be what they call workspace that you can use to set up. So if you have not created a workspace, you can use to create your workspace, and what kind of templates that you want to select, you can select. So here there's a prototype, an AI we can use. So in here, we can actually go to the app prototyping agent and type in where we want to create a simple web app with. Basically, we want to build three things where we wanted to build, which is a login and sign up screen. Yeah, so after I have typed in three things, you can see it will automatically prompt. So let me delete and then redo back again. All right, so here we can see there's a login and sign up activity that we want to create. There will be using a Firebase authentication, which is the email and password. We will create a username field which is stored in the Firebase for each user. And finally, once you log in, you're able to see your profile screen with your login username information. So once you have done that, let's click on the button Prototype with AI, which will next, it will open up another screen where you will try to create the application. So in this case, it's actually using JavaScript to do. So here first, it will give you the authentication flow. So yeah, so you're able to see all the UIs, what you kind of UI, the flow that is going to work. So we can verify each and every single authentication flow. If there's any customization, and also on the color, font, and the style, we can go to the customize, and we can actually customize our guidelines to whichever we actually wanted. So after we have confirmed, in this case, I'm not changing anything, and then you just have to click on the prototype to create your start to create your app. So it will take some time depending on your. So let me fast forward. So actually, we can actually look into when it's prototyping the app. It will start to generate the modules and even the code structure. So this process may take some time and it varies according to your PC hardware. I believe it's fast or slow, but everything is done on cloud. So here is currently creating the application, checking for errors, and then he will ask you to prompt a Firebase project. You need to connect with your Firebase. You just click yes because you like to save your information in Firebase store. So you do have to click. Then it will start to generate the connection to Firebase. But so let me fast forward this section a bit. So now it will try to render. But if you do see an error like this, where you can try again, this is the same error with your Firebase, it's unable to connect. So let's say you retry back again, and if you still can't, you can just type in resolve the fix in the command prompt that is provided. So it will try to help you to resolve the error and then connect back to your Firebase. But once you type the command, it will actually recreate the flow from beginning again, and then you do have to typing back to create your prototype of the app. And now it's actually will be able to recreate the app from beginning, and then now the Firebase is also able to link it back without any issue. So if anyone face this issue before, do drop a comment. So to see is it the same way you guys fix the issues, or is there any other way or method that's being helped to fix the issue? So once we can see now the app once it's completed, you can see it's bringing up the preview of the web page. So currently it's loading. So once it loads, you can actually see there's a welcome back string and there's a login UI. So I can go to sign up since I don't have the account yet. So let's say you click on sign up, then you actually can go and create your email and also a password that you want to use. So let's say after you have done this step, you click on the account, but you see some failures. So this is actually a general failure that you are seeing because now you can actually go to the code and then troubleshoot if it's needed. So the very first most thing what we need to do is we need to actually enable our configuration to the Firebase to set it up. So the first error is due to it's not really connected to Firebase yet. Yeah, we can still try back in here, but it will still give the similar result. By using Gemini, we can actually request for any help or error we are seeing to resolve the error. So let's say if I try back again, try to sign up with a new email and password. Yeah, still throwing up the error with this sign up fail. So you can also see the error if there's any details on the web console. But if you don't have, by right, this error is printed as very general. But the main thing that we can do now to fix this particular error is we can go we can go to the Firebase file here. Inside the library, there will be a Firebase DS file. We do need to update this Firebase config based on the actual Firebase setup that we actually have. So for us to get all the values here for the Firebase config, the first thing we need to go is into Firebase console. Click on the first one in the Google Firebase console. So once you go in, you can still see the app name authentication flow that have been created. So just click on it. So in here, you're actually able to go into the settings. Under project settings, you're actually able to find uh, your particular Firebase config. So copy the Firebase config and then paste it back into the Firebase config code, the Firebase DS file. Click on save and then reload back and then try it back again to see whether it works or not. We can see there's still some error. So now this is because we can see we already updated the Firebase config, but there's still some error here. I'm just trying to use a different email to see whether it will still work or not. Signing up to using a different email and still have the same exact error. So one of the things we can do is we're able to see that there's no web API key yet that have been updated. So usually web API key, the one way is what we can do is we need to go to the Firebase project overview and then enable the authentication in here. So once we enable the authentication, get started, Then you actually can go back to project overview settings. You can actually see the web API key will be actually created at current moment. So once the web API key have been created, now we try to create our account. We're able to see, yeah, we still have to refresh back, go reload, and try back again. Yeah, so now we can see, let me use a different Gmail. So if I create an account, yeah, so there's still some error that is being thrown to us. This is reason is because we have created the authentication, but unfortunately we did not really create a method. We never enable our sign-in method. So we need to enable the email and password, enable the method. So once this is enabled, now anything we try to register, sign up, it will actually create an it will update in the Firebase console with the email and password, and it will have a specific user ID that is very unique will be created. Yeah, so now we can see actually it's login successful, but actually we have login successful, but it's actually keeps spinning there. So if you want to actually really the code, you can actually go and see after the sign up, if successful, what will happen. Yeah, unfortunately, we still have a problem where currently there's an one issue that is prompted out. Even though the sign up is successful, we still have some error that is being shown that is stuck in spinning. So how do you fix a Firebase error due to you are unable to get a document? Usually we could go into the code and then drill deep, but let's say I'm just going to see what's the error. Here there's a documentation error because the client is offline. So one of the main reason why this is actually occurring is because of in Firebase console, we did not really enable the storage component yet. So now if I go into my Cloud Firestore and I already enable here, now you can see that currently it actually will store whenever you sign up inside the Firebase database or the Cloud Firestore, it will store a copy of the email and the username. And also I can set the rules until when this particular rule will be applied. Date, month, and year have to be changed. So now let's say I go back to test it back again, trying to use a different test one at Gmail. I'm creating a very new user, going to sign up and then trying to use create a new user. So after that, after I create the account, now we can see, now let me try to log in back. So I've successfully created and it's requesting me a username. So once you set the username, now you can see it's able to log in and then show my profile, my name, and also my email. It's able to fetch from Firebase console, where I'm currently store the information in the Firebase Fire database. So try to log in back using the email and password. You're actually able to see that it will prompt you with your profile name that set as your username and also your email. So now here actually you can see there will be a unique document ID that will be created, which will include your unique email and username. You can add far more things in the cloud database as we go on. Yeah. So with this, I hope we have come to the end of section. So you can just build a login plus username app using Firebase Studio and AI without manually writing most of the boilerplate code. With this flow, you can extend it to add a profile picture, friendlies, or even chats and features. So if you find this video helpful, do subscribe, and comment below with what app you want me to prototype next with Firebase Studio AI. See you in the next video.